I want to start off with Warren Sapp. Gary, before he came in, I was talking about it's always great when Howard interviews a football player, a professional sports player, because he doesn't really follow it, yet you end up hearing more and learning more about the athlete than you ever knew before.
The thing that makes Howard great with athletes is because he doesn't know a lot about sports, there's no hero worship. So it's not, oh my God, Warren Sapp here. So Howard's like, oh, there's a football player here that people say is pretty good, and he seems very interesting. So there's none of that like, oh my God, I saw you when you were in Miami, I saw you in the Super Bowl. So all that shit goes out the window. So all the interviews you've heard Warren Sapp do, this one's already different.
Do you think Warren is an angry guy?
I thought that the interview was contentious in a funny way.
What do you mean?
I mean that there were times where Warren seemed irritated by Howard, but because Howard didn't seem to have his facts right, and I mean I never thought it was going to come to anything, but he was like he was sort of mixing it up with Howard, not taking any shit from him.
Yeah, and I thought that made him an interesting guest.
Absolutely.
But do you remember that draft when he was just plummeting in the NFL and eventually got picked by Tampa?
Vaguely. Who was the number one pick in that draft?
Oh God, I don't know. It was 95. I don't remember. Will, you should probably come down with that. But I do know. I know that's the year the Jets took Kyle Brady before Warren Sapp.
Yes, of course. But I do have a major.
John Carter. That's who it was.
I have a major connection with Warren. We were talking about today. He and I did Hollywood Squares together, and we spent the whole day together. And at the time, this had to be like 99, 2000 or something like that. And he gave me his cell phone number. He said, "I really want to do Howard Stern show." After we went to break, he got up and he said, "There's only two people I've ever wanted to be on this show. You and Letterman." And now I've done that. So he had given me his number, and I called him a bunch of times trying to get him on the show. It just never worked out.
I'm glad he came on today. Scott in Mississippi, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Good, Scott. What's on your mind?
It's I'm glad Gary brought up the bounty scandal with the New Orleans Saints with him because, for a guy that says that he had a conspiracy theory on his draft pick, he sure does, and how people make up evidence. He sure didn't have a whole lot of opinion on that whenever he brought it up.
Well, I brought it up, and he said that he had a source that told him that Jeremy Shockey was a whistleblower. That was it. What's the conspiracy theory?
Well, the fact that the NFL hadn't brought out any evidence against the Saints, except for like 200 pages that they claimed to have 5,000, and he just didn't have a whole lot of opinion on the bounty scandal in general. Just the fact that he had
we didn't ask him whether we thought it was wrong or right. He basically said, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't need $1,000 isn't going to make me hit a guy any harder.
Which I thought was interesting. Like that is why are people offended by it? Was it the hit to injure somebody?
Yeah, right. In other words, you're giving somebody money if you can knock somebody out of a game. And even though football is an incredibly violent game, and even though people get hurt all the time, to say that you're going out there, I mean, I guess you could say, I'm going out there and I'm going to, play my best, but you can't say I'm going to go out there and,
so the bounty wasn't just for a tackle, allegedly. It was for an actual injury?
It could be for a variety. If you knock a guy out.
If you knock somebody out of the game, you get X amount of dollars.
If a guy limps off the field, whatever it is, that sort of thing.
But, yeah, Warren made it very clear. He was like, look, the money's nothing at that point because they're all doing very well in the NFL. And I thought with Shockey, he said he had a source and that was it and kind of wanted to move off of that.
I will wonder, because Warren works for the NFL, right?
Right. Well,
he works for NFL Network now.
He was on NFL Network, and he's on a show on Showtime called Inside the NFL, which I believe the NFL controls pretty well too, right?
He's not on Inside the NFL anymore.
But I'm saying, when I brought it up, he said, I'm on the NFL Network. He goes, he said it when he was on the NFL Network, but he got thrown off the show he didn't say it on.
Right.
That's the show he got tossed off of. But I thought I thought there was a lot of very interesting insight into football today. He kept bringing up the point, like, I play for pleasure on Sunday. It's the other 6 days they pay me. He goes, I go out there, that's pleasure. And his description of what it's like to beat a tackle and get to the quarterback and put him down, I thought was amazing.
Did you think he was going to be a bigger guy? I guess you had met him before, though.
And I think when I met him, he was a bigger guy.
Yeah. Well, he said he came out of high school. Down. He was 225 in high school, and he was over 300 when he was playing pro.
Right.
I mean, but he said he's smaller, but he was fast, and that's really why he was such an exceptional.
And he made the joke, which I don't think Howard got. He goes, I feel like I'm a big guy with a safety.
Safety, yeah.
Did you guys understand what he said? What he was saying that would have been a motivation for making up drug reports about him?
No, I don't think nobody understood what he had a conspiracy theory.
He said there was 2 new teams.
He said Jacksonville and Carolina were the expansion teams he was talking about.
Right.
And he said, but he never explained what the reason would be. Like
why would help someone if he wasn't?
Well, he said that there had to be an explanation why one of those teams didn't take him.
Right.
But I don't know who would be behind that. So does it mean that neither one of those teams wanted him, so they colluded to have him lower so it didn't look bad for them?
I couldn't figure it out. I mean, Jacksonville took Baselli and Carolina took Kerry Collins. So who knows? The bottom line is Tampa had a great draft, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl a few years later. Bobby in Jersey, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, now. How are you guys?
Hey, Bobby.
This is like a recurring theme that I listen, avid listener. Howard always talks about kind of prematurely going. He can't hold his own sexually. And today Warren said the same thing. It baffles my mind that men that have been having sex for so long, still can't hold off. I don't know. It's weird to me that someone, even like Warren, who's had so many people in his life, still will admit to something like premature ejaculation. It's just very odd. I wanted to know what you guys thought about that.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I fall more into their category. And I do feel really immature about it, but then I guess there's a part of me that says I still get excited. And that's a good thing.
Right.
It's better than being not being able to, I would be much more embarrassed not to be able to get an erection.
I think when Dax and Bradley were in there, they talked about that too. Do you remember, Benji, who said that? Anybody who says they're going an hour, it's just not true.
Or I think Dax was saying that it's not like guys who don't understand women, that women don't want it that long.
I've heard women say, not porn women, but women that I know say, you don't want a guy fucking you for an hour. That's just ridiculous. And it's like, get on with it already.
But every time I think, okay, this is the time. This is the time I'm gonna make it last. I'm gonna and then. Do you ever have one of those where you're just doing so well, and then as soon as you tell yourself you're doing well, that's the end of it?
Jeff in Pittsburgh, you're on the wrap-up show.
That's what I'm saying. That was a great interview. It was one of those interviews where you felt like 3 guys sitting around a kitchen table with a woman in the background being robbed, and it just turned out to be a great interview, man.
Yeah, it was really good. And by the way, you really need to see it on Howard TV because Will came over and he'll attest to this. Some of the faces that Warren was making, there was one time where Howard was talking about something and he had this complete look of shock, and then he would have a look of anger. It was just he was making really funny faces.
Hey, it's Richie Wilson. On Tuesday's wrap-up show, there was a big discussion on who was omitted from my wedding invite list. A couple of guys from the radio side were a little pissed off. Lisa G wouldn't come down. And I think it all worked out well in the end because I defended myself and I explained why I cut those people off the list. So check it out.
And we're going to get into Richie Wilson's wedding list. Some people left off. Some people, only actually 4 or 5 left off, mostly everybody included. I think on this show, the only way, not the only way, but almost the only way you find out how someone really feels about you is when these situations occur.
Well, I got a question for Richie. Did you see this bit coming?
Oh, yeah. You knew it was inevitable.
Right.
And when you're in it, Richie, I mean, you said yourself, you're black and white. This is how you stand. If someone doesn't like you, you want to know. And I'm sure you feel the same way. If you don't like somebody, you're going to let them know.
They know.
So did any of this come as a surprise to anybody today?
Richie does let people know,
yes,
right?
He does.
There are a lot of people here who don't.
I mean, with everything, if I like a restaurant, if I like a movie, if I like this, it's
but it's different
yes
with people.
No, but it's yes and no. I'm not going to
people are at restaurants.
But I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass or up anybody's ass and be smiling to their face and then not like them or talk shit behind their back.
I think that the one thing I would disagree with you about today is when you said it's black and white. It really isn't black and white. In other words, there's people that I like here, and there's people that I like more than others here. And the people that I don't like as much as others doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means I haven't gotten to know them as well. And so there's a lot. It's not black and white. I don't need to love someone or hate someone. There is a middle ground.
There is. Okay, then there's like, indifferent, and don't like.
Well, no, there's like a little bit more. It's not like, indifferent, and hate. But I mean, it is to you,
okay,
maybe.
like Steve Brandano. I like Steve. I am very fond of Steve. But I think we have maybe 4 words a year to each other.
But okay,
you know what I mean?
But
So, and I like Steve.
But you got to the point where there were 5 people.
Actually, no, there's more. There's more. Ralph's not on the list.
Is Tracy?
Millman, yes. Because Rachel and Tracy hang out a lot off the air with Richard Christie's wife, and all those girls hang out.
I totally understand me being off the list. Totally get that. I was surprised at Will and Steve because it just seems a little glaring. But I think that having done this, it's always glaring when you leave somebody off.
Yeah, Will, you seem surprised in the sense that not that you were left off, but like Jason and other people were included.
Yeah, no, I did not expect to be invited to the wedding. But then when I saw that everybody else was invited, I go, okay, this is a message that he doesn't like you.
No, I like Will. There has to
just
be
not enough to invite him.
Cutoff line at some point. Like, okay, why wasn't I invited to your wedding?
I invited probably 3 guys from Howard TV. I didn't invite anybody from our news department.
That's all he invited from your office. 3
What
guys.
do you mean?
He invited John, Jason,
Scott the engineer,
Scott, JD,
all the on-air people.
Tracy. Basically, all the people that his wife had a relationship. Did you invite anyone from the office that you wanted there?
Initially, the whole horseshoe, I was going to say no as a whole to.
What's a horseshoe?
The
bullpen
area. Yeah, no as a whole to.
Right.
And Rachel was like, listen, I want John there. I've had a relationship with John. John's a great guy. I want him there. And then I said, okay, anybody else? And she said, Jason. I email Jason a lot. Every time I see him, we have a great time together. I want Jason there. And I said, great.
Jason, good friends.
Yeah, I was sort of surprised by that too.
Every time she's up here, they get their little. They get like a little chatter group going.
Howard,
the 2 of them.
Rachel Fine, Richie Wilson. I like her. She helps me out with the website. We talk dipping sauces all the time. She actually. I went to go see her last year sing in the city, and actually I think that made Richie and I better friends because then we found out we both watched the same TV shows, and you know.
And
so what's your relationship with Benji? Because Benji's always the wild card.
See, it's interesting. This is going to be fun. Benji got an invite without a +1. Benji got a solo invite.
Because I date Rachel.
No, Benji, is that insulting to you in any way?
Well, yeah, because I have a girlfriend, and that's a serious girlfriend.
And I'll be honest about that.
You don't want? Is it specifically you don't
exactly
want her there?
We had 3 interactions with Elisa. 2 of them were extremely unpleasant.
Well, do you know about that?
Well, when I didn't get a +1.
And
we
also don't want the Benji. We don't want the Benji and Elisa show.
But Benji, did you know that there were 2 unpleasant interactions with your girlfriend and Rachel and Richie?
I don't know. If you want to, I don't know.
The first one was the night you brought her to Rick's to introduce her to a bunch of people, and she was very cold and rude to everybody there that night. And the second one was the Christmas party where she was just extremely rude to everybody.
Well, she was weird. I don't know that she was rude. She was odd.
No, but like when people said hello, it was hi and gave out like the. Like the bent hand.
Yeah, but she was. I look at her. She was under the hypnotic shtick coma of Benji.
She was in shtick coma.
Well, I wasn't gonna make a big deal, but when I didn't get a +1, I wasn't gonna go because I took that as a intentional.
And we figured that you were not gonna come.
That's the best invite ever. So if I haven't been, he won't come.
So it wasn't. It was intentional.
No, but we figured we didn't want Elisa there. But we figured if we did that, Benji wasn't going to come. But we liked Benji, and we wanted to invite Benji. But we knew.
But I think I don't know. You're being very insulting to my girlfriend, who is a wonderful person. And if you don't like her, that's fine.
I'm just going by the interactions I've had. They've been unpleasant.
But you realize it's hard to split a couple up. In other words,
I know.
You would be insulted if you invited someone said they didn't want Rachel.
If Benji got invited and invited myself and not Rachel, I wouldn't go either.
All right, I do want to talk about one other thing because. The thing that I found most interesting this morning, like I said, I did not expect to be invited. When he said why Will wasn't invited, he had, I thought, a fairly reasonable explanation. Same for Steve. But Lisa G, flat out, you just don't like Lisa G.
No, she's a dud. Come on. You want somebody that was going to be fun. And we, listen, in the past, especially in the past few months with the way she's been on the show, with her whole, she wants to be paid for everything. She just let.
But are you basing this on the show or a personal relationship?
Both. She leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Right, so you don't like her.
Yeah, pretty much, and she knows that. It's.
Does she? I got the impression when I saw her today that she might have learned it for the first time.
Oh no, she knows.
This came as a surprise to Lisa.
I think so. I went back to the office because I dropped off a piece of paper, and I just I said, "Are you surprised?" She's like a little.
Tim Sabian, are you offended that you're one of the few who are not invited to the Wilson Fine affair?
Well, Richie and I have known each other for a while, and I didn't really expect to be invited. You know, I love Richie. I have no problems with him. I think we get along great, and we're just not. We don't hang out afterwards. If we hang out, it's comfortable. But we just don't spend a lot of time.
I will tell you this, Richie.
I would invite Tim. If I spend more time with Tim, he'd be on there in a second.
By the way, I honestly think a lot of Richie's stuff. I think there's a lot of jealousy against my girlfriend. I think Rachel is threatened by my girlfriend and jealous.
Not at all.
And I like Rachel
and
a
not
lot.
at all. Not at all. Not at all threatened or
Don't worry
jealous.
about it, Richie. Tim won't go anyway.
Two of the encounters I found jealousy, and one I found pleasant.
No, now we're doing the Benji shtick.
Steve.
I'm not going to get into that.
No, I'm telling you, girls are very jealous of my girlfriend because she's very hot, and it makes a lot of girls very jealous.
She's
Steve,
very hot.
I know you were wondering, like, why are you on this list?
I'll say this with people in this room, and I don't know how that goes, but like, I was not expecting to get invited to Richie's wedding, and what he said on the air is what I would expect. The problem is I know there's been contention with Gary in the past. Even Will, and there's been friction with Will and Richie, and I know that he doesn't like Lisa G. So with that math, that's what worries me, because then I'm either
you're the exception. You're
okay, but then by
I understand your point. I understand your point.
Okay, all right. Because everybody else, like he said, like if Lieberman's going and Scott and JD and blah blah blah. And
I mean, Lieberman's only been here for 9 months.
Yeah, so then I was just the guy that got left off, which it wouldn't be the first time.
But I also interact with Lieberman a lot more, and Rob Martin I work with all the time, and I hang out with Rob.
You work with everyone here all the time.
But I hang out with Rob. When you say you hang out, like where do you guys hang out? Like what would you do? Drinking. We go out to bars. Like I set him up on a date with a friend of mine.
Wait, hold on, guys. Will, what do you want to say?
No, I was just going to say, you can be honest. If it's because you don't like me, I know you say you don't like Gary, then that's fine. But I just wish you would say that rather than...
Right, you say you would tell somebody, so I want you to tell them.
Will. I like you. I don't know what the problem is. I like you.
Well, we also heard the comment, too, that, it was very black and white.
Right,
and like that's what worries me too. Like, how could that be?
If I like you, I don't like you, and I like you, Will. I don't. Right. I mean, I do. I like you a lot. and I mean, there was that one time where you may have thought I was being cold, and you called me out on it, and it really made me say, "Oh shit, maybe I was being a little off to Will," and I felt bad about it. All right, and I made a conscious effort not to, because I like you.
Did the because you like Steve? Do people in different groups, like if Steve's rank of like? If someone in the TV room, would they have to have the same? If they had the same rank
Howard
of
TV
like,
guys not invited to.
No. What I'm saying is,
who are the Howard TV guys?
Is the threshold of like for Steve the same as someone in the Howard TV room, or do you have different?
But I also spend a lot more time with the Howard TV guys than I do with Steve.
So it is safe to say that you like me more than some of the guys that are invited that work for Howard TV.
No, Howard TV. A lot of Howard TV guys aren't invited. The only Howard TV guys that are coming, like the guys I've been around with.
Is Phelan coming?
Oh, yeah. I've known Phelan for 15 years.
So Phelan and Ganji.
Exactly.
I think what Steve is saying is there anyone from the Howard TV room that you invited because you worked alongside them for so long that maybe you actually like Steve better?
No, there's nobody that got an invite just because I worked with them for a long time.
You don't like me then. That's
I like Steve. No, everybody from Howard TV that I invited are people that I either have worked with for years or I've hung out with outside of work for a lot of...
I will give you one piece of small advice if you want to hear it. Just having been down this road myself. Not inviting somebody as high a caliber as Tim, but inviting their right arm, which I'm assuming McClure's invited, right?
Because Liza and Rachel are very good friends.
Big mistake. For whatever reason, sometimes there were people invited to my wedding that had to be invited. It's just the way life works.
But it's our wedding.
I got it. It was my wedding too.
Wedding.
No, I got it, and I'm just saying.
We should be able to invite who we want.
You will, and you may pay the price for it down the road.
Okay.
One last question: how did Tabitha Stevens make the cut?
Exactly.
Because Tabitha
That's insulting.
and I have been friends for years. We email, we text. We're always in contact with each other.
Isn't it fun making lists, Richie?
I know.
Oh yeah.
And I sympathize on that level.
You went through this.
It's obnoxious, but and then the best part is. A year from now, the list could be completely different.
That's right.
Exactly. And you know what? In 10 years, we'll probably look at those pictures and go, who the fuck is that person?
I just celebrated my 20th anniversary, and I turned around to Mary and I go, what the fuck was her name? And Mary's I couldn't remember. And I was like, what was that guy's name? Remember, we were such good friends with him and his girlfriend, and we couldn't remember their names.
Why isn't Steve Brandano in any of these photos?
20 years ago, you're going to look back at those photos and go, wow, remember when Jason was skinny? That's going to be scary. That's going to be scary. Hey, another tip. Tim writes a mean check. So, if there is an open spot.
But, like, there must have been people you invited that you knew you had to invite when it comes to, like, family. You had to invite some. You're telling me.
Well, my family is very small. You can fit.
Right, but I'm saying there's cousins and aunts and uncles that you know this, right? You have to invite them, and you invite them, and you're sitting there going, I can't believe I have to have my fucking cousins from wherever when there's a friend at work I'd rather have. But that's just the way it goes.
I had a section of the room devoted to people I didn't want at my wedding. It was like 3 tables in the back left corner. If you were sitting there, that's like the Scott Salem section of the. I mean, not at my wedding, the Scott Salem section, but general. Right. We call the Scott Salem section the place where the duds section.
Right, I know what you're saying.
I was at that table at Howard's wedding, right next to Scott Salem.
Oh, I know you guys were bitter about that. Who was at the table? Was you and Jason at Scott Salem?
No, not me. I had prime real estate.
Jason had a different table.
So who were you at the table? You and Scott Salem, Haji,
Phelan,
the kid with one leg.
I don't even know if I want to get into names who are at the table, but
Will
you can definitely tell you're on the potpourri table.
Will was in a different restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Well then,
Ken, you're on the wrap-up show.
As far as Lisa's concerned, Richie, you couldn't have made a clearer statement. I mean, you said, Gary and I have had some run-ins. You said, Steve and I don't hang out. You said Will didn't invite me to his wedding, but you just flat out said, would you invite her?
When you're making a list, again, as somebody else speaking from experience, like what happens is, for me anyway, you go over and then you start looking for what are quote unquote the easier cuts. And, a guy like, Lisa G, where, hey, if you had an endless budget and an endless party, sure, she's on the list, but okay, you got to start making cuts.
I don't think she would be on Richie's list.
Well, maybe
not.
Yeah, like in other words, if the room were $250, Lisa and I still ain't coming, correct?
You would.
Wow.
See?
But I feel honored and bad for Lisa.
Here's the thing.
We should try and get Lisa.
The place holds 150. We invited 200.
Right.
And we're hoping that a lot of people cancel, and they're actually coming.
Right.
So we could be seriously fucked.
Oh, we used to. My running joke was when you get the card back from somebody that's not coming, it's like ka-ching. It's like you're making money.
We purposely invited people. Rachel has relatives in Australia and England, so they're the ones that we knew weren't going to come, so we had to invite them.
Are they coming?
Anyway, and now they're coming. That's what we're like, oh, shit.
Quick question, like in the tournament, the basketball college tournament, it's last 4 in, last 4 out. So we're on that last 4 out list. So
maybe
I'm just trying to figure out where that line was. Who like, were you putting Jason and I together and saying, all right, one of these guys can't make it, here's the upside and downside on both of them?
I wasn't doing that. I was just like, okay, is there anybody that we didn't invite? And Rachel was like, I like John and Jason a lot. And I was like, well, then it is everybody in that whole general bullpen area.
She said, fuck
then. And yeah, she said, fuck those guys. I hate them.
I mean, I was clearly, and I'm thrilled to be going. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. You're my boy.
Regret that
but, I got an email from Richie about 2 weeks ago saying, hey, man, what's your address? And I figured that it was for the wedding. So that just proves, I wasn't on the early draft of the wedding list. So that just proves I came in later. And by the way, I did crunch the numbers. Richie would have to get married in Giant Stadium for Lisa G to be invited to the wedding.
What did you guys think of Fred's reaction today when the save the date came up?
I understood what Howard was saying. And again, I think Fred reacted a little too quickly. If you get a save the date card, I would say that that's a really good shot that you're invited. So when he said, I don't know if I'm invited, he could have even said, I think Fred, if he would have said, I got to save the date card. And Howard goes, oh, and that would have been it. But he goes, well, I'm not sure if I'm invited. And Howard goes, well, you either got an invitation or you didn't. It's a miscommunication, and Howard loves to exploit that.
I have a feeling that Fred didn't know if the invitation came.
Well, it may not have.
Actually,
but it might have, and he might have not even known that Allison might have got it, never even mentioned it to him yet.
Before Richie even speaks, here's another thing, John. I don't know if you remember when you get married. Did you send your invitations out in waves?
I'm trying to remember.
Like first wave, you wait a week, you see what comes back. Second wave, I think we had a first wave and a second wave. Is my small recollection of that.
I think we sent them all out in one shot, like family and friends. But we had, like Richie was saying, we knew, or at least we thought, some people weren't going to come.
Right. I think we waited to make sure some people weren't going to come to send out the second wave. Is my vague recollection. You sent us all out at once?
Well, a week apart. Not.
But why a week apart?
Just that we had to get those stinky heart stamps. We had to buy more of and all that.
But it had nothing to do with
nothing like aid.
There was no hierarchy.
No. They all just. Fred. By the time he got to save the date and the invite was mailed, he moved. And that's what happened.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, within like a 3-month time span.
John and Glenhead, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hello?
Hey, John.
Hey, how are you? Hey, Gary, it's John from the Vineyard.
Hey, John, what's up?
How are you? 2 quick points. Number one, I've been in the Mr. Mund's company many a times, Ronnie. I'm tired of people picking on him. He's such a gentleman and such a great guy. That's the one thing I want to pick on.
And then the second thing is, Richie, how classless of a move to not invite Mrs. Jordana to the wedding and put poor Benji in this situation. And those of you that are friends with Mr. Wilson, you should really think about his character and what type of person he is, because I wouldn't want to be friends with a guy like that.
Wow.
Wow. That's why you're not my friend.
No, I know, but it's...
John happens to be a nice guy, but I don't know why he's picking on you, man.
I don't care.
He doesn't like you.
That's fine.
I like you, John.
It probably would have been better to either all in on Benji or not at all.
You're right. You're 100% right in hindsight. You're 100% right on that.
See, Richie and I agree on some stuff.
Yeah, we have moments.
You hurt?
He's awful quiet. He must be hurt.
No, well, it's kind of. I don't like when people take shots at my girlfriend. I think, like I said, I think it's out of jealousy. She's much hotter than the average girl here, and she's much more talented. And I think there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of fear of that.
There isn't, Benji, I'll tell you right now to your face. There isn't jealousy. When the night...
I'm jealous of her.
The night that we first met her at Rick's, Ronnie was there. Was a general consensus that she was not a nice person the night everybody met her.
Yeah, everybody thought she was a snot.
Exactly.
To be honest with you.
Because she doesn't lay all over you guys.
No.
Sorry, you know?
No, it wasn't lay all over. It was, hello, I am. And it was an attitude.
And
it was an attitude
she's
back.
shy. She's
and
a little
then the next
shy.
night
She's
at the
a little
Christmas
quiet.
party, the next time at the Christmas party, which was discussed about on the air big time, that a lot of people had problems with her.
Well, that's. I mean, you guys. I think
And
you
if
guys
that's her
expect
way of
girls,
coming across,
You
maybe
guys
she was
expect
shy.
a certain type of girl.
No.
She's a little bit classier, a little bit brighter, a little bit more talented, and that's what happens.
Then who? Then like my wife, as a for instance?
Than me.
Oh,
okay. I understand.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do moving forward now? Are you going to invite anybody who's not invited?
Well,
Are
see,
you gonna
to me, that's even a more obnoxious slap in the face thing, just more condescending to say, "Oh, Gary, here's your invite anyway."
Well, I mean, you could say,
would you take that as like, what the fuck? I'm an afterthought or something like that?
Listen, again, I'm not expecting.
No, I'm saying,
but it could if you came to me and you said, you know what, I thought about this, and we've had our differences in the past, but I would like to try to put it behind us. So I'd like to invite you. That I would understand. But if you just said, here's an invitation, it just came in the mail, that'd be
Do you
weird.
want to know, Gary, the honest truth? It was 50-50 with you up until like the last second.
Yeah, I thought that
it wasn't a hard no right off the bat, like fuck him. No,
well,
it was 50-50
I thought
up
about
to the
this
last second.
when I knew the invites were going out. I thought it was if I was going to get invited at all, it was going to be Rachel's decision. Because I think,
she likes you
with the exception of pulling her chair away from her, I think we mostly get along
she
really
likes you a
well.
lot.
And I happen to like her a lot. And again, I don't want to insult you with this. I think that you have, since you guys got back together and got engaged and all that, I really think you've become a nicer person.
I've tried to be.
But I've actually seen that.
I've made a conscious effort.
And when I said you've changed,
for noticing it.
But I said when you've changed in the last, when I said you changed in the last 2 years, I really feel that. And by the way, just so you know, when Howard came back and said something on the air that day, and you said, "Oh, Gary must have clouded him at dinner," this is exactly how it went. Beth, the lovely, sweet Beth, who's the nicest person in the world, we're sitting at dinner, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "It's gonna be so much fun."
I heard about this.
Did you get the invitation to Richie's wedding? And I go, "No." And she goes, oh. I said, "I won't be getting an invitation." And she said, "Why not?" I said, "I don't think Richie likes me." I said, "We don't get along that well." And that was it. I didn't say nobody likes Richie or anything like that.
Right when I came out the studio, people were like, "Whoa!"
She was surprised to find that out. Beth was really surprised. Beth thinks everybody likes everybody.
Yeah,
which is a good way to live life.
Yeah, it's a great attitude if you can have that. Now,
I got that attitude.
Oh yeah. On Wednesday's wrap-up show, all the talk was about Bobo's treasure trade, everything that Bobo went through to get his valuable items for his shrine, and how Sal shined. And speaking of Sal, he told us the genesis of Twat Raper and the difference between a legitimate rape parody song and an illegitimate rape parody song. Yes, you got to see that. Today's show, the main attraction, I guess, was Bobo and Bobo's treasure trade, the jingle that we can't get out of our heads. And so much went into this game, and a lot of different games were being played during it, but Bobo had no idea what was happening. He knew to bring in his stuff, but he didn't know that he was going to possibly get anything. That all came as news to him. But he was here extra early and prepared, and I think he had a good time doing what he did. Doug Goodstein, do you agree?
I think he did. I just, personally, I wish it was more of destruction of his items, which we didn't really go there. You saw he wasn't going to part with that stuff. But the physical stuff was fantastic.
I'll tell you, the thing that surprised me the most was the Leroy Neiman poster. Like, I know it's his most treasured item, and he loves it.
he wasn't going to give that up for anything. Like,
No,
I wonder
nothing.
if what Howard could have done. Maybe Howard could offer like a photo session or something
no,
like that.
I think if Howard said, "I'll give you everything."
Oh,
that
for the
probably
Neiman.
Yeah, that probably would have been about it.
But John, can I ask a quick question?
Sure, Steve.
Who is Leroy Neiman? Should I know him?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
He's a famous artist. You should definitely know.
And
him.
what does he have to do with Howard?
He did a painting for Howard back in the day for the show that Howard hung up in his place, and then Howard in turn gave it to Bobo.
Oh, Howard gave it to Bobo?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's got to be other people that did.
Which is funny because turns out Bobo destroyed it himself. He just that's what
He broke it in the car.
Yeah,
the poor guy.
Really? Yeah, the frame cracked.
Now, as things came up, the first thing offered to Bobo was Robin's bra, and I didn't think he was going to take it. The stunt was offered, and then a trivia question, and you could tell he wanted it, but I think he thought that was the whole game. Like, it would be the bra. And
Right.
once it clicked, and it takes a little while to click with Bobo, that there'd be more stuff coming, he jumped all over it. And that's where my pal over here came in to shine. Sal, congratulations. Will you not smoke that in here?
Sorry. Thank you.
Seriously, don't bring the electric cigarette in here.
I'm celebrating.
Celebrating what?
Painting my cock on Bobo's face.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was one of the only,
painting Bobo's face with my cock.
That was one of only a few things that you did.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it.
And what did you enjoy the most? The painting, the pubic hair mustache with Richard?
I think everything was equal.
Really?
Yeah. These stunts are like my children. I don't discriminate. I like them all equally. So
yeah,
it worked out well.
I mean, everyone contributed a bunch of stunts, and I know you had a ton of ideas with Richard on what to do with this.
It all happened so quickly yesterday in the meeting. Everything shifted gears real quick, and Howard said, "What if we can throw in some stunts as well?" And boom, we just started putting them together immediately.
Yeah. The only thing that was a bummer about the segment is that it only was those 3 stunts. I mean, we could have gone for 5 hours. There was
really
so
could've.
many things, and there was no. I think Bubba would have gone for everything.
Like when Howard went
as long
for
as
the-
it was just the physical stunts. I mean, he went for it. I mean,
when
how
Howard
much-
said the tickle chair, I'm like, "Oh God, it's over." We could have done so much more. We were going to play the bongos on Bobo's head with our penises, Richard and myself. We had a lot more ideas.
Did Richard enjoy shaving you for the mustache?
Absolutely. I told him, I said, "You need to be my shaver." He goes, "You got it, buddy. I love to be your shaver."
Did he work the ass hair in, or did you guys?
He got a few of them. Definitely got a few of them. And that was pretty good. I loved when he went for the ass hair.
Do you feel gay at all? Like, I mean, you did very homosexual type stuff. I mean, you put your penis in a guy's face. You had the guy shaving your balls.
No,
Did
not
you
at
feel
all.
proud of yourself?
Absolutely. Do you?
Yeah,
You're the
I'm
one
proud of you.
running this cockamamie
No, I think
organization.
it's great. I'm proud of you.
We've been down
on
this
the
road
back.
so many times, Doug. Clearly, Sal and Richard believe what they're doing is for the humor and funny, but not sexual in any kind of way. Of
course.
Ask any gay person if they got an erection from me doing it. It might be gay. All I heard was laughter. So it could be. If people want to perceive it as gay, sure. I'm not gay. I'm not going home today looking to suck a penis. I don't get. It's not like I'm going to go to some gay porn.
So when you're painting Bobo's nose with your penis, there's not any sense of arousal just because you're touching somebody else with it, and
Probably just the opposite. Just the opposite. Here I am putting my penis on a man's nose. There's no way I'm going to get erect. If anything, it's kind of shriveling up a little bit. That's why I give it a good stretch on the pouch. And that kind of serves
You know what's
as,
strange? I got to go back and check tape, but Scott DePace swears that something fell out of your pouch when you first pulled down your pants.
Really?
Is that possible? Do you have any schmegma or something in there?
No, it's clean as a whistle right now.
You sure?
Yeah, you want to come and smell it?
No, thank you.
Sal,
Let John do that.
While you're here, I'll do that during the break. While you're here, I wanted to ask you about.
Well, John, I'm over the age of 11. You sure you want to go down there?
We didn't get a chance to talk about your song yesterday.
Oh, Twat
I
Raper.
wanted you to come down, and you didn't come down. But congratulations!
Congratulations, Howard was repulsed by it.
Well, I think that's your goal sometimes.
It is. There's nothing better than shocking the shock jock. I think there's no greater form of admiration.
Where did you come up with that? Did you hear the real song and suddenly it just fit, or what? Yeah, tell me the genesis of Twat Raper.
I heard it on my my iPhone, when I was working out.
And how do you come up with the scenarios within the song? Is that just things that pop into your head? What happened? The different things you want to do to her, or
No, look, like I said, boobs, lube, round, brown. Gets a little monotonous after a while, gets a little redundant. So you need to shake it up. You need to raise the bar.
Were you surprised by how Howard reacted to the song?
No, I didn't know which way he would go. I was actually glad that he said he was disgusted by it and played it versus just deleting it and ignoring it altogether. To me, that's a great accomplishment when he plays something out of disgust. It's fun. It's great. But by far, I'm not looking to rape her. I'm looking at it as a, what is that called? Like the brothers do it to each other. Term of endearment. That's a term of endearment.
What do you mean the brothers do it?
You know how you can't say the N-word, but if you do say it, you say it as a term of endearment. That's the only time it's acceptable, which I understand. When I'm saying I want to rape Robin, it's not I really want to rape her. I don't want to commit an illegal act. I don't want to violate her. I want to consensually have mad, pussy-pounding, ass-bruising sex with her. And if you love somebody and you say that, it's not offensive. If you love somebody. If you don't, it's different. It was this is a legitimate twat rape song, not an illegitimate.
What would an illegitimate twat rape song be?
And just keep talking for the next 10 minutes. This is great. An
illegitimate twat rape song would be somebody who legitimately wants to rape somebody.
So you're saying that you don't want to rape Robin, of
course. Do you think I do?
No, but
of course not.
But I think you'd love to have sex with her.
Who wouldn't? I'd have sex with you at this point in my marriage.
What did you think of Robin's reaction to the song?
I was very impressed. I was hoping that she would be, slightly taken off, and she was, but I liked it. It made me laugh my ass off. I just thought it was at the end. It was funny, when you in a typical average job, you don't take out your penis and make a clown nose on somebody, but it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It works perfect in this environment.
Would you play it for your wife?
Yeah. I mean, there's no need to, but yeah.
All right.
I don't think she thinks anything by it, but I love the song. I thought it was great.
Well done. You should be proud.
Did you like it?
I did. I enjoyed it.
What'd you think, Doug?
Any song?
I actually missed it.
Any song you do makes me laugh. You know
thanks.
that.
Thanks. I have to do a John Hines song then.
You have to do one of those. Teddy, let's take a break.
Kid Raper!
Come back.
Kid Raper!
We'll talk more about
He's going to throw you in his trunk.
Treasure trade. We'll move off of Twat Raper and back to the treasure trade. And Gary, I was saying before you came in that there were a lot of different games really going on during the segment.
Yes, and I was very, very nervous about this morning because this is one of those bits that, to take a phrase from Tim, had a lot of moving parts. And there were a lot of areas where it could have gone a lot of different ways. This also was the morning that Howard was coming off of America's Got Talent and had to work again. So I had a meeting yesterday with myself, Will, Doug, Richie Wilson. We all sat down and we went over everything a lot, and we tried to make it as easy as possible. I mean, Will did the bulk of the work, but I was so afraid. I was just praying for it to be 8:00 because I wanted this to be done and just go correctly.
Did you think Bobo would give up that Leroy Neiman poster for anything?
Yeah, he was very attached to that.
And the OJ mask he passed on basically, right? But he wanted your beekeeper mask.
He did.
Lost his eyebrows for that, right?
I was surprised that he passed. I know it's weird, but I was surprised that he passed on the tombstone because it's so one of a kind and it's so well known from the show. And off the record, we really wanted him to take it because we just wanted out of here. Right. It was almost like garbage. We're like, please win it so we can get rid of it.
But did you know, why? Did you hear why he said he did?
Yeah, he said he thought it was. It freaked him out. He thought it was freaky. But he's like a tribble attached to Howard. He feels what Howard feels.
But not only, I don't think it only freaked. It just didn't just freak him out as a death kind of thing. But like the thought of Howard dying,
right,
is so upsetting to him.
No, I get it, but Howard, if it freaks Howard out, it freaks Bobo out.
To me, the highlight of the whole bit, and I thought the bit was very strong, was when the guy called in at the end and criticized Bobo, as a fan, and Bobo immediately, commanded respect as he's got Sal's, paint from Sal's penis on his face.
Did you notice that he said, "What are you? Go back to your 9-to-5 job." What the fuck does that mean?
But he knew as opposed to his 12 to 8 job.
What is that? We were like, what does that mean? Like, decipher that.
Well, I think it means that I think that Bobo thinks that he's special as a super fan of the show. But his job is as regular as it gets. He's got like a 9-to-5 top job. There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5
but
job.
Maybe he meant because then he's successful. Isn't he sort of retired because he made a lot of money?
He's semi-retired. Yeah, he retired from the post office, and he does.
Oh, he's a postal worker.
He was, yeah.
Oh my God, that explains everything.
I thought he gave defensive driving.
He went postal many years ago.
No, wait, I thought he was a defensive driving.
That's what he does now. No, I understand why he's semi-retired because he probably worked for the post office for 30 years.
Right.
He's probably on full pension, and so he can do a job where he doesn't have to work full time because the pension and a little part-time work makes it work.
Now, do you get sentimental about any of the stuff that he took? I know he got some carts, the tickle chair.
I got to tell you, the carts, they've been in my office for a while. I took them when we left K-Rock. And so I have 4 carts in my office. A song of DeBella, Baldy Baldy, John with Ringo Starr, the Tarantella music, and a cart of when Jackson played football and the announcer announced it, Howard played it on the air. And I think I just grabbed those randomly on the last day, but I remember thinking, all right, John with Ringo, that's a big deal. That's iconic. Oh, and I have China singing her song. Oh. And so I had to give a couple up yesterday, and I was almost hoping he wouldn't take them because they actually mean something to me, although they're fucking useless.
And the tickle chair, I mean, that I was sad to see that go.
Well, again, we look at that as it is sort of one of a kind, but it really is just like a Adirondack wood chair, and then you just could get straps.
That was we had a discussion because at one point we were thinking about putting the Robo Spanker up or the Wheel of Sex,
right?
And those are much more difficult to replace. So the tickle chair is easy to replace, but it is the one chair that all that stuff happened, and so it worked out well.
That has a lot of history. I mean, you go back, that probably has been featured on 50, 60
Who was the chick that I kept pouring water on? Was that Mary
Nikki's?
Oh, no.
Nikki Ziering, I think it was.
She kept saying she wanted a drink of water. I kept pouring it on her like a wet T-shirt.
There was a waitress who worked at the Penthouse Club that was the hottest one ever that you poured a ton of water on. And, God, to this day, the hottest chick ever in the history of the show. I mean, I would take the wooden planks that her vagina rested on
and twat rate them.
Yeah, I really would. I really would violate those things. She was
legitimately.
So hot. Yeah.
Stephen Philly, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, John, Gary, what's happening? I just want to. Do you think Bobo's stuff's going to be worth a lot? All his memorabilia put together is going to be worth a lot of money one day when Howard retires?
I think I can answer this. The charity that I work for, we're always talking about ways to raise money, right? So one of the guys that works there, he said, go into your attic. Like a lot of us worked in the record business. We have like gold records or whatever. So I went into my closet. I have like the shirt from Howard's 40th birthday. I've got a jacket from Private Parts, a bunch of stuff. And I was going to put it up for auction for the charity. And I went online and looked, and it just didn't seem to be worth it. It didn't seem that it would generate enough money for me to part with it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would think some of the stuff, depending on how unique it is, I guess, and like, I'm thinking the tickle chair. I know you said it's an Adirondack chair, but based on the history and fans of the show, I guess if they bid against each other, maybe then.
I also think that Howard has to sort of legitimize it.
Howard sign it.
And not only sign it, but
what happened today gives the items huge legitimacy.
Right, that's right.
But I wonder, like, are you saying if in 25 years, will Bobo be able to say, I've got the tickle chair from the Howard Stern show, somebody's going to go, oh my God, that's worth a lot of money, or somebody's going to go, fucking, I don't care.
Probably both.
I think it's worth nothing because I think it's splintered on the LAE right now.
But it's still
I think that's coming out of the car.
Listen, it's like it's like getting a piece of wood from Yankee Stadium. At the end of the day, it's a piece of wood.
I think he'll end up, and you'll have to check in 20 years. I think it'll be like $1 million collection or more.
I disagree.
Well, I asked him that when I did the Bobo Shrine tour.
Yeah, what does he think it's worth?
I said, what is this worth? He goes, well, it's priceless to me. I said, well, put a price on it. He goes, oh, it's got to be in the millions.
But like any piece of memorabilia, any autograph, any other stuff, it's worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it.
I mean, I guess an insurer would know, like, have some idea of.
Yeah, I don't think Bobo's collection is worth. It may not be worth $25,000.
What about definitely less than that? I mean, it's pretty much newspaper clippings and magazines and books.
Well, he's got some autograph stuff
that is unique. I mean, there's lots of photos; those aren't worth shit. It's the stuff that's signed. The books, the stuff we gave him today has some value. And,
I laughed really hard. I was watching the piece that you guys put together that's going to run on TV, and he was even impressed that he's got a copy of a book that my mother signed, which made me laugh my ass off.
That's his number 2 most valuable thing.
Sal, what do you think of Bobo's passion? Because you're a passionate fan of the show, and of course you're part of the show now, but do you understand where he's coming from, why this stuff means so much to him, what he'd be willing to do to get some stuff from the show?
Everybody has their thing, and for Bobo, it's the show. I certainly get it. There was a show one time on MTV. What was it called? There was these people who were obsessed with certain bands and whatnot, and they had the most ridiculous things. There are people who collect locks of hair from rock stars and whatnot.
What about you before you worked on the show? Did you ever collect memorabilia from the show?
The only thing I have from the show is when I was a guest on it, you guys signed a book, which I still have, and Howard signed a Private Parts poster. That's it.
But you were never big into you're not one of those guys like, God, I'd really love to have the seat cushion.
No, I'm not a collector type of guy. I just don't collect stuff. It's not me. But I get it. I mean, Bobo's obsessed with the show. It's an obsession, and you know what? If it makes him happy, so be it. The guy's been listening for so long. He is a super fan. He got something good out of it. Like my cock hair on his face.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about how Howard was really bummed out that because of the storm, his parents had to stay at his house all weekend. And Scott DePace and I sort of sympathized with him about what it's like to have relatives overstay their welcome. Here's what happened.
Off the politics for a second, with Gary now in here, and talk more about what Howard's going through, because he's got his mom, his dad, his sister all in his house, and he's offering to blow LIPA to get the power back on.
And I've been working hard. I've been talking to people. I got to lay really low because, I don't want to get people in trouble, but, they're trying, but it may be a while.
Isn't this wrong?
Of course. Well, it's not wrong to me. I got a boss who needs something, and I need to get it done. And that's all I give a shit about.
Yeah, but what about the poor old lady who lives 3 blocks away?
I got a boss who needs to get something done.
So if somebody comes to fix something at your house, but your neighbor needs it more, are you going to send them their way and wait your turn?
No, but if my neighbor was scheduled to get it done, and I can somehow use influence to get it done at my house first, that's wrong.
Are tempers and tensions running high, Gary, around just in general in your neighborhood? And
I was telling John, Lucas and I went out to get gas on Friday, and it was early in the day, and he just said to me without any provocation, he goes, Dad, man, everybody's really tense because you could just feel it. First of all, our block has never been that crowded at 11 o'clock on a Friday morning. The cops are out everywhere because there's 10 gas stations within a quarter mile of each other. But yes, tensions are high.
How difficult is it Howard's dealing with a couple things right now. Some stuff as small as he sees the newspaper after his dad went through it, and his dad's like, you could throw them out. He's like, wait, you see the paper and it's all crumbled and you want it clean. But the other thing is ultimately, he's trying to get his parents into a condo or into a place that he thinks they would benefit more, but they don't want to go anywhere. And it's not an easy conversation to have.
It's a tough thing because they, older people have a system and a routine, and they don't like to mess with that routine. I get that. Mary said to me, wouldn't it suck if we were old to be going through this? And I said, because I could not get my internet back till late last night. And I said, no, because if I'm old, I don't really have a job, so I don't give a shit whether I'm on the internet. I'm struggling to get on so I can do work.
I think that's for them, they think that's the beginning of the end. Your kid is putting you off into a home, and,
I had this conversation, I talked about this in my book, but with both my parents, I tried to get them to turn their money over to the kids, which is a common thing before the 5-year look-back rule. And I talked to a couple of my friends about it. They went to the parents, and one of my friends came back to me, and he said his father glared at him, and he goes, so wait a minute, let me get this right. You're going to take my fucking money, and when I want money, I got to come and see you? And it was but at the end of the day, you're just trying to do the right thing for your parents and for their kids.
Yeah, that is weird, though.
Howard also mentioned Beth offering to take in one of his parents down the road, and Howard was like, that's grounds for divorce. And Howard loves his parents more than anything.
Of course.
But there's no one who can get on your nerves more than your parents because you're really treating them like your kids at this point.
I saw one of my neighbors that I was using internet at their house, and I saw them getting a little flustered with their parents. I never saw them get like that before. But of course, your parents can... I'm really nice, and I'll go to my mother, like, Mom, why are you giving me shit? Because it's your mom. That's what they do.
Greg in Boston, you're on the wrap-up show.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Love the show, as usual. 2 quick things I wanted to hit on real quick. I didn't hear any mention of
Howard's house in the Hamptons. Did he get any damage down there at all? Or I didn't. If he said it, spoke about it, I missed it. But
I think I saw a note from Beth.
In the water.
I think I saw a note from Beth. I think it was fairly minimal. Nothing house damage, maybe some trees or stuff, but nothing major.
No, he's lucky. I know he's close to the water. My other quick thing is, with all of his dough, why does he not put in one of those whole house generators that goes in your backyard? It's fueled by natural gas.
He talked about that a little bit today.
Why doesn't who put it in?
He's saying, why isn't Howard put a generator in his parents' house?
Or his parents, yeah. I mean,
he can't get his dad to take a TiVo.
No, they don't have natural gas, he said there. So that was the
I don't have natural gas either.
And then the propane thing, he said they weren't, I don't know, they weren't into the idea.
Yeah. I bet they'd be into it now. No, it's one of those things where you tell the generator thing for a lot of my neighbors was like, oh, it's such a pain in the ass. And now when I built my house, I put in a whole house generator. I was the only one in the neighborhood with it. I don't think there's one person in my neighborhood without some form of a generator, whether it's the gas one you drag out.
How big's your propane tank? Is it?
It's underground. When I built the house, I put one underground. I think it's 300 gallons.
You have a generator?
I do. I just have a portable one, but finding gas for that was just as much of a misery. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the interesting conversation I had with Lucas when he was talking about how on edge people were, we talked about, it reminded us of that. Remember that Twilight Zone episode where they thought the aliens were coming and all the neighbors were like ganging up on each other?
Oh, Maple Street, great episode.
It started to feel like our neighborhood was great, but when you went out to the outside of your neighborhood, it started to feel like that. The people online are angry and it was weird.
How do you think Howard's holding up after the weekend with his parents?
It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot. I mean, Mary and I have had, those, have you never had relatives over your house for a sustained period of time and you love them, and when they leave, you let out a huge sigh of relief and you're like, I love them, but Jesus, I just need my house back. Everyone's shaking their head, but
yeah. I was just going to say that's what family's all about, for better.
And you love to help them, and you love that they're there, and you're like, I'm glad they came, but God,
I have an in-law come to my house every year for about 2.5 weeks, where my wife goes away, and
what do you mean?
It's hard.
Wait, your wife leaves when the relative comes?
Well, in other words, the in-law is there to take place of my wife.
I see.
For the kids, help me out a little bit. Right. And
you're not a big fan?
I am. Yes, I am. But it gets hard.
It fucks with your routine.
Yeah. I find I keep escaping and leaving and just, I'm going to go down to the store. And,
you know who's great? You know whose routine it didn't fuck with? Starting John told a great story on the air how his mother-in-law was staying with him for a week. And she walked in and caught him jerking off. I'm like, in an apartment, in a small New York City apartment. I'm like, you can't not jerk off for 3 days while your mother-in-law's there?
I would have to divorce immediately, so I would never have to look at her again.
Hey everybody, it's Sal Governale, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show we discussed why I was voting for Romney. You're going to find it to be brilliant because I am a genius on this show. We also discussed Sour Shoe's great appearance on the show and all the crazy things that went down that day, so check it out.
Sal Governale now joining us on the wrap-up show along with Sour Shoes and Ronnie. And as I'm reading that ad, Sour comes over and starts taking stuff out of this lunchbox and giving it to Sal. Sal, what did he give you?
He just gave me a whole shitload of Kiss cassettes. Kiss Destroyer,
Where's
Kiss
the
Dynasty.
VHS tapes?
I said, what are you going to do with them?
Throw them in the garbage.
Oh, that's not nice.
Is this a gift, or were you just trying to impress me with this?
I was trying to impress you.
Oh, okay.
Do you want these?
Very nice, but I mean, what am I going to do with old cassettes?
I know exactly what you do. You go down to Astor Place, you throw them on a blanket, you sell them for $0.05 a piece.
Sour, do you want these back, or are these a gift?
Well, you can keep them if you want.
Are they a gift? Well, that's very nice of you. You know what the fun thing is? They smell.
I'll give them back to the guy. They're in his lunchbox.
I know, but they smell really bad.
What do they smell like?
Like, you ever remember as a kid when you went into your friend's house for the first time and it was a smell you'll never forget? Everybody has that house. It smells like that house. It's just...
Yeah, old people smell.
Yeah, old people, liverwurst, newspapers, cheese. This is... Yeah.
Sal, it was in a lunchbox.
I've touched some crazy things. I touch these cassettes. I want to boil my hands.
Sal,
I'm not kidding.
I got to ask you, because we know what happened 4 years ago. You said that you voted for Obama. Then later we found out you didn't vote at all. Are you going to vote this year?
I am definitely going to vote this year.
And who are you voting for?
Well, I am voting for Romney.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I look at it this way. Obama did a great job, and Romney's going to, I guess, will do
You're the only person voting for Romney that thinks Obama did a great job.
Well, he did a great job, and I think whoever goes in there, I mean, he did a pretty good job. He killed Bin Laden and all that other stuff. But the thing is this. we live in a world of bullshit, and to me, the man with the biggest line of bullshit wins. The country really doesn't change that much drastically, maybe in little bits and pieces. So be it. Nothing's really going to change. Nothing is going to affect, I think, my bottom line, or most of us for that matter. So I want to vote for somebody, and this might be a little odd, where we can have fun with it. Like, I love the Romney impersonator. I want to continue doing Romney jokes. Saturday Night Live totally buckled down on Obama. Nobody does Obama jokes, maybe because he's African-American and sensitive issue. I get it. But with Romney, just like Bush, we can have a fucking field day. I want to keep this Romney impersonator going. I want to see Romney SNL skits. Nobody's afraid to make fun of the dopey old white man. So, you know what? If we're going to live in a world of politics, let's at least laugh about it.
So let me get this straight, because it doesn't really matter who wins. You're going with Romney because he's easier to make fun of.
Absolutely.
So
lots of comedic content there.
So it's for the sake of the show.
Yeah, sake of the show, sake of entertainment. It's funny. Everybody had a field day with Bush. Nobody did anything with Obama.
That's so not true, by the way.
Well, they talked about it, too, in the news. They had to be very, very careful about certain things.
There's been like 3 different guys on Saturday Night Live who have done Obama. They do Obama every week.
Do you feel like you have to be careful with Obama?
I think you have to be careful in this day and age with anything.
Well, if you didn't have to be careful, give me one of your best jokes.
I wouldn't have one. I really don't. I mean,
you have one.
Somebody one time somebody referred to one time in the Post, I believe they referred to Obama as a monkey, and there was an uproar about that. That Al Sharpton came forward and did his typical march and all that other stuff that comes with it.
I think that's when anytime you refer to any black person as a monkey, there's an uproar, not just the president.
But why is there an uproar about calling you a monkey?
I could sit here and explain it to you, but I don't believe that I can't believe I have to explain it to you.
Well, no, I'm saying that monkey is just a derogatory term to call somebody no matter who you are, whether you're white or black.
Don't you think black people got that term a lot more than white people?
Absolutely. And
so that's why.
I know that, but you should still be offended to be called a monkey.
I am.
Okay, well, there you go. So I think it works on both sides.
I don't even know what you just said.
I don't either, but I'll cut it. The other thing that I noticed today between you, Gary, sitting next to Sour Shoes is he sounds a lot more like you in his real voice, and maybe that helps with the impression.
I thought so, too. When I heard him speaking, he's got a lot more of my accent. He's got a little bit of my accent, so I think it's easier for him to turn it on. And a little bit of my tone of voice when you're just being yourself.
Yeah. Well, remember when Robin was saying to try to mimic someone so you could be somewhat normal?
Mm-hmm.
So about 3 months ago, because I talked to Vinny a lot, I was telling Vinny, maybe I'll just do this voice because it's somewhat normal. And that way I can get my point across.
So the voice you're talking in right now isn't necessarily your voice?
No, because I think my regular voice is higher, right? And it kind of annoys me.
Well, wouldn't you know your own voice?
I don't know.
I think right now you're speaking.
Dude, he doesn't even know his own self. How's he going to know his own voice?
It's like asking Sybil, who are you?
Now, let me ask you something, Gary. You're pretty good with this. Do you think that something happened traumatically in Sour Shoes' life that he constantly uses these voices, almost like somebody with multiple personalities, and he's kind of shying away and hiding who he really is? So he uses this stuff as a guise?
Yes, I think that he's not dealing with who he really is. There's definitely a like a Peter Pan thing going on. Like he's very juvenile,
right?
And he can, if you ever try to have a serious conversation with him, even when we talked on the phone, he'll go to a voice. Right. Although I was able to, I used to have pretty normal conversations with him.
But it always winds up at the end changing back to the
now,
voice.
Sour, do you change your voice because you are somewhat ashamed of who you really are, or you can't identify with who you are because of a traumatic experience?
That might be a little bit too extreme. I think it's more habitual at this point.
Well, how long have you been doing it? Like, were you doing this, seriously? Were you doing this when you were 12?
Possibly, yeah.
Were you doing it at Pepperdine?
Yeah. And at St. John's and Pepperdine.
This morning, when you came in, Howard and Rob were commenting on your energy and like you kind of got off to a slow start. I think by the end you definitely hit your stride. But did you feel off your game at all today?
Ronnie and I were talking, and Scott and I talk every day on the phone pretty much, and he gives me some ideas. And I was talking to Ronnie about it. It seems kind of I was kind of professional today here real early. So maybe almost that it was kind of too normal, whereas the last time I was more thrown in.
You also said that you had this penthouse pet come at you in a nurse's outfit, gorgeous girl coming on to you real hard, but you said you're more interested in Lisa G.
Yeah, it was like all too much. It was too much there. But when I stepped away and was back to where I was at the keyboards and the instruments, it was almost like I was watching it. So then I started to get more excited.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I'll tell you.
like when
I'll tell you what he means.
When her stories, when she started to talk the way she talked, and then I was starting to envision like Lisa being there watching me, watching her. Like I started to get excited.
What were you going to say, Ron?
When she was telling all those stories about getting fucked in the ass with the 12-inch dick and the whole deal about Woo Kid, and this guy was in another world. He never moved. He didn't make a noise. He was like.
And I was picturing what she did.
He was like a guy jerking off in one of the booths, like Sal does. You could see it in his face that he was going to blow a load.
You were picturing it in your mind as it was going on?
I was coupling it what she did to me 5 minutes earlier.
Now, Ronnie, what did you think of Alexis, all that ass play talk? I know you're a pro when it comes to that.
She's a fun girl, man. I'd love to have her in my bed for a few hours.
Did you learn anything from what she had to say, or is that just...
No. But I know she's a fun girl.
Did it sound like she did anything out of the ordinary?
No. Sounds like fun. Sounds cool to me.
What was going on? What was going on in your mind during this part of the interview?
I was
like you were on the same.
Man. I was almost in the same boat with him, but I was too busy watching him. He was fogging over. It was insane. If you go back and look at the Howard TV cameras of the footage, you look at his face, man. It was like a kid just about ready to blow his load when he's in. We used to have a guy in high school who used to sit in the back of the classroom, and he used to jerk off in his desk. And he used to stare at the girls' legs. It was miniskirt time back then, like it is now.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, he had that same look on his face that this kid used to have before he blew his load in his desk.
One thing she did was she started to cross her legs, and it was kind of like she wasn't as open. And I kind of liked that better.
She's playing hard to get.
Yeah, she had her in heels like that.
Well, you should have directed her.
You sure she just wasn't clenching up her ass cheeks, keeping jizz up her butthole?
Dude, you should have directed her then and tell her what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you was by the couch with her, you should have said, like, let's slow down a little bit, do it a little easier. Don't jump all over me like that. You probably would have blown your load then.
But then again, that helped me later on in the interview because then I was coupling what she did to me there. It was just at the moment, it's hard for me to grasp what's happening. But then when I look back and lament, and then
now, will you take this home with you and masturbate to it?
I'll try to work it into a dream overnight.
He doesn't jerk off.
Weaver, the dream weaver, Gary Wright.
Well, Sour, is that what's appealing about Lisa to you?
And she plays a part in that too today. I'm picturing her.
She's the nightmare.
Watching me and kind of putting me down a little.
Well, I mean more like you said when Alexis crossed her legs. That was more of a turn on to you because
when she first walked in.
Right, Lisa's sort of conservative, so I wonder if that's what appeals to you.
Yeah,
because Ronnie's into Lisa too, but not for that reason. I don't think.
No, I'm into it for that hotel room.
Wow! Did you see the facial resemblance? Did you see the
of Lisa and Ronnie?
What? Wait!
The Olsen girls and the Alexis a little bit. Just in the face?
Not really.
No,
I
had something to do with it.
I saw those big red lips around your dick. That's what I saw.
Jesus. That's when Ronnie came.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, well, Obama is president again. Some people on this show, namely Scott DePace, voted for Mitt Romney. And it may be an understatement saying that he wasn't very happy with the results. He tried to explain himself, and that made for a very good show.
How late did you guys stay up for the election results last night?
10:30. I stayed up till 10:30. I was fairly confident when I went to bed. It's those TV stations. They have to keep you hooked in. So at 9:10, they're like, "Oh, this is going to go all night. You can't let go." And then by 9:45, it had completely changed. It looked like it wasn't going to be as close an election. But yeah, about 10:30.
Yeah, I went to bed a little before 10, and I had a feeling the way it was going to turn out. How about you, Will?
8:15.
Oh, that's your usual bedtime.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not staying up for that. You know what? The answer's still going to be the same in the morning.
I did get up this morning, and I keep an iPad on my vanity, and while I brush my teeth, I sort of just look at the headlines, and I was so afraid. When you play fantasy football and you're way ahead and you have to go to bed, you get up the next day, and then somebody scored a shitload of points in the second half. I was so afraid that it was going to be, Romney won Florida, Ohio, and this and that. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't want to get too political here on this show, but Will and I were talking a little bit, and I mean, the Republican Party, this is it. Clearly, they're not going to be able to carry an election without having some support of different groups, and there's going to be a split or something's got to happen.
Well, you put it a much better way. Somebody said DePace is the last of a dying breed. An older white guy. there's lots of white people and they're getting older, but I think their attitudes are changing, and there's much more diversity in this country. This country isn't getting whiter; it's getting more diverse.
I didn't see Scott. How was he today?
Not happy.
He was pissy. We made a bet. We made like $100 bet on the election 2 years ago, actually. And I won today, and he threw the money on the ground. He's like, "Go pick it up, boy."
It was like the end of
"Fuck you! I'm not picking up your fucking."
It was like the end of 8 Mile. He came in, he just dropped
exactly. It was just like, "I'm not gonna grovel in front of you."
So he's not ready to embrace the country and move on after.
No, he'll be angry as ever, and we'll have to listen to his obnoxious rants every day.
Yeah, the thing that I don't understand with him, especially, which Howard sort of addressed today, is, and I even tweeted this out the other day. It's like, listen, of course I'm voting for Obama. If Romney wins, he's my president. He's president of the United States, and I'll give him every opportunity until it doesn't work. But this is like, DePace already, that's it. The next 4 years are a wash. I don't support him. We're going to do everything we can to stop him. How are you going to get anything done?
An angry Scott DePace now joining us.
Before you guys start crowing too much, Republican Party is not dead.
We're not crowing.
Just in case. Oh, yeah, you're going, the Republican Party is dead. All white guys. 48% of the country voted like me. It wasn't a big deal.
But
it's very close, Gary.
I'm saying that if you brought more diversity to the party, you think you'd have a better chance of winning?
Well, we don't buy votes. We earn them through correct policy.
But I don't understand what that means when you say buy votes.
I could get diversity. Let me just start offering things to everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wait.
Hold on.
Just like I said.
You mean be
I told
inclusive?
Will this before.
Be inclusive?
No, that's not inclusive. I told Will this before. In my high school, the guy was running for president, and he said, "All right, you vote for me. I'm going to get you a free day off of school." Everyone voted for him. He got 98% of the vote. He wasn't able to get the free day off from school.
That is the most ridiculous example ever.
It's a great analogy because basically Romney was right talking about the 47%. It's not exactly accurate, but when you're giving away things to all these people,
Army vets, all those suckers.
But see,
suckers
again,
off the system.
I'm not saying
Sponges.
it's exactly.
Hold on,
I'm just
old
simply,
people. Hold on, guys. Hold on, Scott.
Yeah,
you look like you want to punch somebody.
I do.
Right now.
I do.
Why? Why are you? What's angering you?
It was it's just. I don't know.
Were you up
in the country?
Were you up all night? Did you wait
until?
No.
No. I turned it off.
Is Obama your president? Do you support Obama as your president?
Of course he's my president.
But do you support him?
Do I support his ideas? No.
No, do you support him? In other words, if he tries to get...
What, I'm a jockstrap? What do you mean? Support his balls? No, I don't support his policies.
But you couldn't even give him credit for doing the right thing during the hurricane. Even that bothers you.
More than anything there, I'm putting out the hypocrisy. That when Katrina hit, the media was all over Bush like he had just he created the damn hurricane. Now with this thing, it's Obama gets his ass lathered, and it's just bullshit.
But you understand
it's bullshit. It's no better now.
Do you understand that
and that's 4 years after the fact.
You understand the grief that they gave George Bush was that he was slow to deal with the hurricane.
It's because he didn't land on the ground. He flew over. That was a big fucking thing.
No, but he was slow to deal with it.
People were on their roofs. They had to first get people into safe. It wasn't easy. It wasn't the same fucking thing.
But again, I don't want to fight. It's not something to yell about. Every time I bring up something about Obama, you go, "Well, you did this, you did that." I'm saying, did Obama do a good job? This is the most minuscule.
I'm telling you, no. I don't listen.
Then you don't support him, and you might as well be honest and say it. You might as well say there's nothing he can do that I will like.
I don't understand what that means. Support him. Do I wish the country is on a correct? Yes. If that's what you mean by support, yes. I want the country to do better. I want unemployment to go down.
Is there any idea?
But do I believe that his ideas are going to get us there? No. Scott, and I'm pissed off the country would vote for a guy after these last 4 years have been so shit.
So what you're saying? Hold on, just listen. So what you're saying is,
try to keep your comments to yourself.
No, what you're saying is, for the next 4 years, you will support anything that will stop or hinder Obama from getting any of his ideas done.
Because that's sort of what I'm not in Congress, Gary. I'm not going to.
But you will support people in Congress that will do that.
Absolutely. If someone says you want to create, for example, another Obamacare, yeah, I support that.
Hey, by the way, I meant to ask you, how has Obamacare affected you specifically?
Okay, so far it is not enacted yet, but it starts this year.
Well, sure.
Okay. There's very few provisions have been enacted so far.
So how is it going to hurt you? I want to know.
It is going to hurt me in thousands of ways. One, I think it's going to hurt this whole country with.
I didn't ask. I'm talking about you, Scott DePace. How is it going to hurt you, Scott DePace?
Allow me to tell you how the economy works. When the whole economy
I asked about
goes
you,
down,
it's
that
a very
affects
simple
me,
question.
Gary. I'm answering you. You won't listen to me. If the economy is bad everywhere,
I understand that.
I get affected.
I'll take that into account, but specifically Obamacare.
Next, there are tax increases.
How is it going to affect you on a very personal level, specifically, not as a whole country?
Telling you, and you're not listening. Open your fucking ears. There are tax increases.
I don't believe there's tax
me.
increases for you.
That's right.
I don't want to get too wonky.
Yes,
with it,
there
but
are.
No, there aren't.
Yes, there are.
No, there aren't.
Yes, there are.
Well,
you don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I can tell you exactly what it is, but I don't think it's very interesting to the crowd.
I'll prove
this
it to you
audience.
later.
You lost. Shut up.
I find that when anyone yells about Obamacare and you ask them how it affects them personally, they can't answer the question.
And lastly, I believe that there's an underlying thing to this whole thing where when people do not have to support themselves, when people do not have to be responsible, that's a bad issue. When you can start force feeding people and giving them their own policies, instead they go out buy their fucking iPhones and their cars and whatever the fuck else they want to buy. It's not a very sexy purchase buying insurance. Instead, they buy the other shit. And when you do that, that's a bad thing. Lastly,
but you still haven't answered the question.
Lastly, Gary, if you're not understanding how this applies to me, and then lastly,
I
believe
how
that
is it going to come out of your pocket specifically?
I told you taxes. Lastly, I believe that overall the government, when you get control of people's health care, you're going to start putting all sorts of legislations on top of them, just like things like Bloomberg and his salt thing with his soda ban.
But again, you're guessing.
Once the government,
you're guessing.
No,
I'm
smart enough to know. Once the government is in control
than everyone else
of our insurance policy, they're going to do things like Will agrees with, that if you're too heavy, they're going to tax you more. If I smoke cigars, I'm going to have to pay more. And it's going to be a slippery slope where when the government is in charge of us...
Republicans love to use that broccoli example, like they're going to, everyone's going to be forced to eat broccoli, but it's ridiculous.
I want to let the record show that he has not answered the question.
I've answered it.
He has not.
Taxes.
Do you feel
taxes?
Do you
taxes?
But it hasn't happened.
Your answer is taxes.
I told you it doesn't start until next year.
Scott.
It starts this year, and then next year's taxes will be on there.
Scott, over here.
That is accurate.
Scott.
There are parts of the program that are already in place. Absolutely. Right now.
But the taxes haven't been implemented
You can stay
yet.
on your parents' insurance until you're 26 years old, right?
But the taxes have not been implemented yet.
Taxes. That's
first.
Taxes.
The taxes have not been implemented.
Everybody
yet.
shut up.
Give John the show back.
Thank you.
Hold on. Give John the show back.
Scott, simple question.
You lost.
Do you think that when Christie took that picture with Obama, that the election was basically over at that point? Do you think it had that much of an effect?
No, I don't think it.
So why didn't Romney win?
I think he won because a lot of people are on the. Listen. There's a lot of people who look at who voted for him. A lot of the cities, a lot of the suburbs did not. Right.
That's code for minority.
Yeah.
Well, you call it what it is, but
I think you just did.
You just did.
I don't think you're going to win an election anymore without attracting any Hispanic votes. And if your idea of immigration policy is, say, what is it, voluntary deportation, then, you're not talking to people. You're not talking to people in a realistic way, and that's why you're not going to win an election
Latino
anymore.
issue was
I'm going to
immigration,
win.
not
I'm going to run and just offer everyone $1 million.
But that's not what happened.
What the fuck?
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Bubba Booey. On Tuesday's wrap-up show, there was a lot of Ronnie. First, Ronnie, it turns out, knows that Taylor Swift's fans are called Swifties. We don't know how he knows that. Then Captain Jenks called in and talked about the prank call he made involving Ronnie. And finally, Ronnie told us that he went to see the play Cinderella. Yes, a 60-plus-year-old man went to see the play Cinderella. Here's how it all went.
Another argument that we had, sort of, I wouldn't say argument, but discussion we had before the show, and Howard picked up on it during the show, was about Taylor Swift singing along to all the acts. Some people felt that she was doing it for camera time. I'd asked JD, but he can't come down here right now.
How come? What's he doing?
He's in a meeting, but he does feel that way.
I'm with
as
JD.
Do you. And I and Steve both feel that she's a young girl who just likes music.
I think that when you go to an event like that, where you're really the focus of attention, she's not just anybody going.
Agreed.
She's the focus of attention. Yes, you should go and have a good time, and there's a party that says, hey, I'm going to go do what I want and be who I am. But there's another party that knows that every little thing you do, the camera's picking up on. So I think that her singing every song is a move. It's a move to get on camera.
I disagree. I think she's just singing along, and she's enjoying the music and being a 23-year-old girl.
Can we tell the audience that you, off the air, refer to her as Tay-Tay?
On the air, I've said Tay-Tay many times.
So you're in a whole other league.
Look, just because I've seen her in concert 5 times.
Have you seen her 5 times?
5 times. I'm going again, right?
Are you?
End of March.
What city this time?
It's local. Going to Newark.
John's he's like the Grateful Dead. He's like a deadhead for Taylor Swift. What do they call them?
What?
Taylorheads? Do they have names? Taylorhead road groupies?
Swifties. How do you know that? How do you know that, Ronnie?
Don't worry about it.
No, how do you know that?
I'm smart.
No, how do you know?
I'm a goddamn genius.
How do you know a Taylor Swift groupie? I have 2 teenage daughters. What's your reason?
Yeah, I have a teenage girlfriend.
Is that why you know? Is Stephanie a big Tay-Tay fan?
She likes her.
Do you like her?
Not particularly.
No, not for you?
No.
Not your speed?
She is cute. I got to say, she's a cute kid.
Yeah, she's, whatever.
She's very all-American looking.
Yeah. And I don't think her music's bad. Some of it, not all of it. Steve Brandano agrees. I see him shaking.
I think it's funny because you don't think her music is bad. I'll give you 10 other artists that dance around her genre that you would probably hate.
That's true. I like her older stuff, like Tim McGraw. But anyway, let's get Ronnie. I'm glad.
I like her Greetings from Asbury Park album.
I'm glad you're here.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. Because
good.
before getting into David Spade, I did want to ask you about that prank call that Jenks did because apparently you weren't a big fan of it.
Not that it wasn't a big. I mean, he got upset because I didn't knock him on the news. I just said I was, I'm friends with a lot of cops, and it was a whole cop thing, and cops were getting shot and killed that day, even. So
Was it not fun and not funny?
It was his stuff is funny, but you know what? He got all bent. He started knocking me on Twitter because I said, because I did the news story with Lieberman saying, that I wasn't too thrilled about it, but, I didn't say I hated it.
Do you think Jenks did the wrong thing by doing it?
He never does the wrong thing because he's always doing those phone calls. So,
He's done a couple of calls I think he wish he could take back.
Are you pissed at him?
No, not at all, but he's pissed at me.
Jenks, are you pissed at Ronnie?
Jenks, you there, buddy?
I'm not pissed at Ronnie. I was just bummed out that because I thought he would think it was cool. When I did the prank call, there was no reports of anybody being shot or injured. I did it before any of that stuff went down, and
but I didn't hear it till that night after this all went down and the cop was shot and then he died. He had already died.
And Jenks, in all fairness, nobody had been shot or killed that day. He'd already killed 4 people.
But the thing is I don't do this to make fun of a tragedy or to make fun of people being shot or injured. I do it to show that these people on the news, after 25 years, they still can't stop it. They still don't check their sources. And, I let it out that it was a prank call early on. I didn't keep everybody on about it. And I kind of figured, Ronnie, it would be good for the block party. And I just could imagine all the phone calls that you must have fielded within the first 10 minutes after me doing that call.
I agree with Jenks, by the way. I know he does these during some pretty weird tragedies, but to me, it's always a mad rush to be the first to get the scoop, and it almost seems like these news organizations care so little about what's going on and care more about getting the person on. And I agree, most of the time, 99% of the time, it's not a bad thing. There's like 1 or 2 that he probably shouldn't have done.
Well, Jenks proved that, I thought, with this call. Jenks, she would have talked to you all day.
What's that?
She would have talked to you all day, it sounded like.
Yeah, but I kind of got nervous because, again, I was thinking, well, if there are people, if you would have watched it that day, you heard that the reporters and everything, they were getting in the police's way from doing their jobs. So, I mean, me doing a prank call to that show was probably just, I think, was just comical. It was just to show that these people were so willing to put anybody on the air without checking any sources that I mean, I could at least get through and do it. I just didn't want to string anybody along.
You know where I thought Jenks used to shine for me? Jenks, what is the Philadelphia version of, I guess up here, it's called the DOT. What is like the Department of Traffic, like the roadworks people? What are they called?
Right. It's called PennDOT.
PennDOT. Every single snowstorm, he would call as the head of PennDOT and always get on it. I would think, how do these people not know who that is and what his number is? And he would they go, now from PennDOT, we have this guy. They put him on.
Jenks, you're a master of your craft.
But Ronnie, you're not mad at me.
No,
right?
I never said I was pissed. I just said, if you listen to Lieberman's story, I never said I was pissed.
You weren't pleased, though. But I just wanted to make sure you didn't have a problem with me because I'd be bummed out. I was bummed out that you didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. I'm saying it's not that I didn't like it. It was just, I don't know. At the time, it just hit me the wrong way. I don't know.
All right. Thanks, Jenks. We're all good. What did you do for Valentine's Day? What did I hear you saying?
Hey, listen, you're going to Taylor Swift. I went to see Cinderella.
I'm going with my daughters. What did you do for Valentine's Day?
I went to see Cinderella on Broadway.
My God.
How was it?
Why?
Because that's what Stephanie wanted to do for Valentine's Day. She's into Cinderella, I guess. I don't know.
She thinks you're her prince.
Yeah, I am. I am a prince. I got we sat third row, I was a prince.
Someday her prince will come.
Yeah.
How was
it? After I'm gone.
What'd you think of the show?
It wasn't that terrible. I didn't fall asleep, so it wasn't that bad. Actually, they added a little humor into it.
How so?
And they made little jokes here, here and there.
I got to ask you a question.
Good.
I'm not being facetious about this at all or anything. Were there mostly kids at the show?
No, absolutely not, dude. It was all adults.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And it's not even open yet. It's in preview, and it was sold. It's been sold out for date.
Really? Who's in it? Anybody big? Any big names in it?
Not that I know. Not even in my day.
No Angela Lansbury.
No, there was somebody. I forget who it was. I recognized one name.
Did they cast well? Was Cinderella?
Yeah, she was hot. Yeah, she was definitely hot.
Did she look good when she was working the house, or when she became,
Oh, when she became Cinderella, she's in this hot gown. I'll tell you what, though, the live effects that they had on this show are amazing.
Yeah?
I mean, like, the dresses, they like changed right in front of your eyes, and you didn't even know they changed.
Like Kelly Clarkson's dress at the Grammys.
Yeah, exactly.
They just spun around and bang. They were
exactly. It was crazy. And I'm sitting like 3 rows back, and I'm trying to figure this out.
You think it'll make it on Broadway?
It's opening March 3rd.
I understand. Do you think it'll stand the test of time?
I think so, because a lot of kids, they're going to take a lot of kids to see it probably.
But you said it was adults.
It was adults. There was there were some kids there, but I'm telling you, it was mainly adults.
Cinderella.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was great, man.
I'm sure Stephanie must have been thrilled, though.
Oh, please. Unreal.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked a lot about Mark Cuban and him entertaining Shark Tank pitches from the staff. So Richie Wilson came in with his winning pitch, but Tim Sabean came in with his losing pitch, and Scott DePace came in to explain why he didn't pitch at all. Lots of fun, as always, on the wrap-up show.
Mark Cuban also came by, and he was a great guest. He was all fired up, a lot of energy, had a lot of fun things to say. And then he had to sit through those pitches of Tim and Richie Wilson. I want to talk to Tim about his failed pitch. I want to talk to Richie Wilson about his successful pitch. I think everyone was surprised that Shittens ended up going over well with Mr. Cuban. Yeah, I think Tim was bummed out. I know he believes in his idea. He was excited about it. I wanted to pitch his other idea, which is a leash for a television remote. I'm sorry to give that away, Tim, but...
You're talking about the thing like whenever you go to the shittiest hotel in the world and they have the leash on the remote control?
Gary, don't let him know that. But his app to find, clean places to go to the bathroom. I know it exists, but apparently Tim's is a little bit different, but we really didn't get to learn the details because Mark Cuban shot him down pretty quickly.
He went, eh.
Yeah.
Do you think that in Tim's pitch, it was necessary to tell Mark Cuban, a guy you're A, trying to get money out of, and B, a complete stranger, he could have just said, hey, sometimes you got to go to the bathroom. He didn't have to tell him that he shit all over the wall.
That's what makes Tim, Gary. He didn't have to tell him, but he wanted to, add some color to the story and get him interested, and I understand that.
Tim came to me afterwards. He's like, this app is going to kill. He's got it under control.
Yeah, get Tim down here. I want to talk to him about this app. Did you know he put $8,000 into the app already?
He told me 4, but it's going to take another 4 to get it to where he needs it to be.
Oh, okay.
So I
figured it was the other way. He said 8, which means he's probably put like 16 into it.
No, but the thing that I didn't know how to say this to Tim because even before he went in, I was getting texts like crazy or IMs like crazy that there's like 50 apps that already do this. But Tim was saying that they're not interactive, but I haven't seen them. I would think they would be.
Yeah.
In other words, if you're going to go look for a bathroom, it would seem like you just Instagram a picture of a clean bathroom.
Richie Wilson, though, has put 8,000 less into his idea, and he got the endorsement from Mark Cuban. And I saw out in the hall, you guys were buddying up. Is this gonna happen?
I put 8 minutes into this. That's all it was.
Yeah,
quick little idea, and he liked it. He was really cool about it in the hallway.
I love the idea, by the way. As a frequent user of Man Groomer or whatever you call it, it's a great idea.
Were you surprised that he went for it like that?
No, because everybody I spoke to said it's a good idea. Like I haven't heard anybody, no pun intended, take a shit on it.
So what are you going to do?
I'm trying to reach out to companies now about having it manufactured. I'm looking for, and if a company's interested, get in touch with me. And Rachel's at home right now. She's looking up manufacturing companies.
Here's your problem, though. What about all the other people out there listening who are doing the same thing?
I totally know that, but listen, it's out there. I knew that going into this, that I'm putting it out there.
Did Richie copyright it in any way by doing it on the show? Can he take this tape and document this date as...
Yeah, I mean, it serves as some type of copyright, but if I'm the manufacturer, I thought of that 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've been working on it ever since.
But you have to have proof of that, though.
But that was exciting. I mean, look, he took you at first it was kind of goofy, but then a couple minutes in, he was taking you very seriously.
For the simple fact, he didn't tell me to get out like he told Tim.
Yeah.
And he said that, and when he said there is something there, like I almost skipped a beat, man. I was like, there's a billionaire businessman liked an idea that I pitched him, and Ronnie told me he was laughing about it and loving it all the way down the elevator. He was cracking up.
Even if you don't get a dime, at least you get that satisfaction of knowing that he endorsed your idea.
Yeah, and he told me in the hallway, he said, you really should try to get on the Shark. He said, you really should try to come on.
Oh, so get on the show.
So as soon as if he would have been here with people, I would have asked them, is there a number? How do I get in touch? But I didn't want to ask him, like, hey, give me your email address.
Are you going to change the product name if you have to get on Shark Tank? Because I don't know if they'll let you go on.
I would do a Shittens brand, because for like a guy, like a hunter, they would love to use Shittens in the woods. Like, that would be great. But I would have to change the name, somehow.
You got to change the name because the place you need to sell it
is to moms and.
I'm not talking about that. Like, you can't get into Kmart or Target or
unless you put
BJ's
like the pound sign and percentage or whatever, tens. You know what I mean?
That's actually a better idea.
Yeah.
But even some of those places won't deal with that.
That got me 3% of the company, by the way.
You're in. You're in. You have 3% of nothing.
I appreciate that. The other thing, I know other people were upset, Gary, because they wanted to pitch and didn't have the opportunity to do so.
I know. We had I think we had 5 people out here altogether. You know who was supposed to pitch and declined to pitch was Scott DePace. And what happened was basically Scott DePace told me yesterday, I no longer believe in the video caddy. In a sense, he said 19 years ago, great idea. 9 years ago, great idea. He goes, things have changed. Everybody's got a camera on their phone, so I don't believe it anymore, and I'm not going to come make a fool of myself.
Wow.
Well, I also know this morning he was saying he didn't know about this segment until yesterday afternoon.
Right.
So he didn't.
Well, that's okay.
I mean, I think he wanted some preparation or to have a pitch.
For somebody who's been working on for 19 years?
I'm surprised. I mean, he's got a lot of pride. I know that, and he believed in that product for a very long time.
Technology's changed.
But for him to admit that, that's a big step. Now, do you think he did it just because he didn't want to do the pitch?
I think he did it because he's out of video caddies and it doesn't matter anymore. I don't know, Scott, if you're still selling them, let me know. But I remember him telling me he sold out.
I mean, the video caddy is 5 times bigger than the iPhone.
Yeah, but you can still, you got the brand name. You can make a smaller or
iPhone caddy, iCaddy.
You could do something like that. We're all geniuses here when it comes to this entrepreneurship. All right, Scott DePace, you weren't able to. I didn't know you gave up on the video caddy. That was news to me. Gary just told me that.
I sold the last video caddy 2 years ago, maybe.
How would we know? How would we know that?
I told you guys. I mean, it's quite obvious. I haven't had the website up for a year and a half. I don't know
because I check the video caddy website every day. No, it's funny. I mean, I just didn't know. I didn't know.
At some point, it was definitely out there. I know it's not on your radar, but you knew at some point. Trust me. I said I wasn't doing it anymore.
You're extremely entrepreneurial, though. It surprised me that you didn't pitch today.
I mean, I've got other ideas, but with Gary, it was really odd. Yesterday, Gary came into the control room and said, "Are you ready for tomorrow?"
Well, that's because Will had sent you 2 notes to 2 different email addresses, which I guess you don't check Lotus Notes.
I do check Lotus Notes. Never got that.
Here's the email. You can look at it. That's from last week with some other email address that I have no idea. You have 7 different email addresses.
PatMedia.net I have not had in 12 years.
How would I know that? And then the next one
How would you know that? Because I haven't had it in 12 years.
The next one is a Lotus Note address. Scott?
I swear to God, I did not see that. I do see it here, so I'll have to go back and check. But I did not see it.
But again, when I type in your name, and this is a bigger issue, but people have all these outstanding email addresses, and how are we supposed to know what email accounts are active?
We're all Lotus Notes.
Then that's what we do. We use Lotus Notes only. That's fine.
Wait a minute. So I had an email address that changed about 6 months ago. I
didn't remember which one it was.
I let our IT guy know. I let Tracy know.
But I can't spend 25 minutes looking up trying to find your old email which says what your new email address is. But that's not how it works.
You know what? It's a bigger issue. That's actually a Lotus Notes.
What else
issue,
can I do?
But anyway, if you had an idea to pitch, would you have pitched something if you had more time?
I have plenty of ideas, but I wasn't really prepared. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I didn't know whether I needed to have artwork and all this stuff ready to go. If it was just an idea, yeah, I've got ideas, but I didn't think that he was going to take anything seriously today.
But he took Rich's idea
no,
very
he didn't.
Yes, he did.
That idea is horrible.
Oh my God, you're so jealous. He totally took that idea
serious.
serious.
Is horrible.
It is not.
You're not
horrible.
really going to do it. You're not going to do that stupid
Scott,
idea.
you really don't think he took that idea a tiny bit serious?
I think
he was on the show and he wanted to sort of, but
then why didn't he take Tim's idea serious?
I think he did take Tim's idea seriously. He assessed Tim's idea,
right.
Said it had been done, and said goodbye. He listened to Richie's idea.
He said you've got something there.
And I don't think he was doing it to be a nice guy.
I wouldn't invest $1 in that idea. I mean,
you don't have $1 like him to give.
A wife would do. You sure I do. A wife would do just as much as a glove. How do you take the glove off? I don't know. To me,
but that's the best thing about Shark Tank is they really don't care what the idea is. If it makes money. If Richie proves that Shittens is a moneymaker, he'll invest. Why wouldn't he?
For the guy that made Post-its, he said, "I'm going to put glue on the back of a notepad," and people would have said that's stupid, and they made billions
but
off
you can't just.
It's
the same type.
Why are you so frustrated by this?
I'm not. I'm frustrated trying to explain why I think Shittens is a stupid idea, and I don't think Mark took that seriously. I think he was on the air going, "Hey, yeah, that's good, yeah." But let's see you make $1 with it. And let's see him actually put $1.
I got to say something. I'm watching you here, and I'm not trying to open up a larger issue. I promise you. I just don't think you can revel in anybody else's success that isn't
Gary,
yours.
that is not true at all. You come up with these thoughts that there's no accuracy to that. If Richie had made $1 million, that would be awesome.
But here's the point.
I'm simply saying that Mark, I don't think he was being genuine.
And I disagree with you. What you're saying is you don't like Richie's idea. That I get. But Mark seemed genuinely interested in that. Why did everybody see that but you?
I guess you guys aren't as bright as I am. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't think he would put $1 into that fucking thing.
What did you think of Tim's idea?
To find a bathroom?
It was an excellent idea.
I think I can find a bathroom quite easily without an app.
Why was Yelp so successful?
Was what?
Yelp for restaurants.
That's it. But that you're getting a review. You don't review a bathroom, how clean it was.
No, I think that's what Tim is saying, that people are taking pictures and reviewing the bathroom. Here's a clean bathroom in a 25-foot vicinity.
Well, listen, I mean, I could shit in a porta-john. My wife does want a clean fucking place, so maybe there is something to it. I don't know. I wouldn't invest in it.
Tim, were you discouraged at all? I know you've put a couple bucks into this.
No, not at all. Not at all. It just propels, and I love challenges. And let's follow through with this thing and see where the challenge goes. shows.
Where did you come up with this idea? It wasn't from the incident here.
Well, no, it was. I was thinking about this, and I went online and I looked at a couple of things, and I saw what they were, and I saw how the ugly meter took off. I saw how Yelp worked. I saw that there were applications on the web or on iTunes and so forth that were that identified restrooms, but this has other layers to it and other services to a potential user. So I thought, why not?
What other? I mean, I know you don't want to give away the tricks of the trade, but what other services could it possibly have?
Well, there's communication. There's a rating service on it. There's other, community type things where you can participate. There's
Wait, how do you participate in the bathroom?
Because you
tap
pictures.
your foot and you can find gay guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So but you take pictures. You upload the pictures. People, it's like a lot like what Yelp is.
Scott, what are you making faces for? You think this is a dumb idea?
No, it's not.
Of course,
it's not a dumb idea.
I don't know. I don't see.
I think it's a really short time to guys just start putting pictures of their junk on there.
That too.
And then you'll be a millionaire.
Exactly right.
And Tim, you put $8,000 into this?
No, not $8,000, but it's. I put about $4,000 into it just to check it out and understand it, and to realize what it's all about.
You should talk to me. I've got plenty of good app ideas.
How did the video caddy do?
Why did you use any of them?
Because I'm too ballsy to invest $4,000 like he did. I mean, I'm not ballsy enough. Right. Sorry.
This is a Howard TV original production. On this episode, Ronnie the limo driver gets an acting gig on Cougar Town. Was he a natural or just a total drag?
Hey, can a girl get $1 for a lipstick? What's your problem? Testing 1, 2. Baba Boo. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The creator of Cougar Town got a hold of me and said, "Hey, we're thinking about giving either Ronnie or Eric the actor, a shot on the show. Who should we get?" So I forwarded it to Howard. Howard said we should bring this up on the air.
Bill, Krista, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Howard.
Krista is a actress on Cougar Town. Bill writes it. But I know Eric the actor wants another acting role.
Yes.
Bill and Krista were open to it because they're fans of the show.
Uh-huh.
But they were also kind of like, well, maybe Ronnie the limo driver would be better.
I'm up to do anything, so that's about all I could say.
Well, unlike Ronnie, I have actually been on a couple of TV shows, so I have had screen time.
The people on Cougar Town were more into Ronnie than Eric. I got that vibe.
Bill, just give me the decision.
Ronnie's got it.
Wow.
I listen to Krista all the time, and she feels that Eric isn't grateful enough.
Thanks, guys.
Ronnie wisely took the part because they were thinking about Ronnie or Eric the actor, and Eric the actor has all kinds of stipulations about what he won't do, what he will do, and Ronnie walked in and said, "Whatever you want me to do, I'll do," and that's it.
They didn't have any conversation with me about the role I was going to play. I had no idea until
Or Miller. Or Lawrence. But that's all right. It's cool. At least I got a room, not standing outside.
I got an update that Ronnie was actually going to be playing a cross-dresser on Hollywood Boulevard that kind of comes in contact with the gang.
I didn't know what I was going to do until I got there. And going into wardrobe, that was a whole thing in itself.
Okay, it's real tight here.
Can't be any tighter than there.
All right, so let's try.
The lady was really nice. I felt a little uncomfortable with a lady showing me bras and corsets and girdles and shit like that.
I have a choice of like several dresses.
How is she?
That's a good one because you'll be warmer too. And or we have a leather number, which is also quite nice and stretches.
Quite nice.
So I'm gonna let you get into all the stuff, and you might want to you want to first take off your shirt, and I can help you button that.
Okay. I think he thought that the show was playing a gag on him, that the Stern Show was playing a gag on him, that this wasn't even real.
I could, if you're gonna be, do you think you'll be cold? Do you want me to? Let's put this on first, and we'll see. Maybe I can give you long underwear. All right, you hold this.
What's the big deal? I flexed a little bit.
You gotta suck it in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
She put on this thing, this corset with where you're supposed to have tits. I don't have tits. So they had to put tits in me.
All right. Nice. Okay.
You like my boobs, man. 40 double D.
You could. What is your favorite? I'm gonna ask your
My
opinion.
favorite?
If you were to dress as a woman, what would you choose? This is gonna be warmer, but the tattoos are a really nice touch. If we want to show the tattoos.
Freeze my ass off.
We have a big jacket for you, and then
you do?
just have to take your jacket off when they're filming you.
They gave me this thing that it was like a girdle. It wasn't even. What are you talking about? Well, it did have a little ass in it.
Oh, I know it'll be fun for them. Wait a minute now. This is the back, right?
Yes.
Well, there's a big difference between taking a dress off a girl and putting a dress on a guy.
I don't know how to put a fucking dress on. Is that how you put a dress on?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think so. I don't think this is gonna work.
I tried a couple of different dresses on.
I'm more a leather person.
That's what I was thinking. This is nice for the chest hair, though.
I liked the other one better, but of course, the producers and everybody liked the one that she picked. Fucking leopard skin or whatever the fuck it was.
I look like my mother.
It reminded me of my mother. The face, not the dress.
I'll show them what you're wearing, and then we'll get you dressed after hair and makeup.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Wanna come on down to hair and makeup? We'll get you in the trailer there. Boy. Oh boy. This ought to be fun.
When I went into the makeup trailer, they put a lot of makeup on me. A lot.
Punch it up with some gloss, and I think you're good.
They gave me these wigs to try on.
The director went to blonde, and
Of course he does.
He thought shorter was funnier. So
This one's pretty good.
this one's pretty good. And then we tried the red.
They decided on the short head. I had decided on the long head. But, of course, anything I said, they went the opposite of, so kind of like around here.
It's already in my face, man.
I think this is a good look for you.
Yeah, right. You kidding me? Nobody knows who I am now. It's horrible.
I was in drag, okay? And I met the people from the set, the producers, some of the stars.
Hi.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
Nice to see
You too.
I think Ronnie's going to be hysterical. I think he's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fun.
You don't need my advice.
You're right.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you later.
Hey, nice to meet you. How are you? I used to be Ronnie anyway.
A long time ago.
Well, last night I was.
It's amazing. Just 24 hours in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, right. When I met a lot of these people, most of them, everybody, even like down to the Teamsters or whatever, they were fans of the show. So they made me feel real comfortable.
What's up, man? John. Hey.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. How are you, buddy?
Good,
It's
good.
good to meet you.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming.
It's fun. Are we ready to go? I really need the jacket.
It's pretty cold
Is
up
it?
there. Bring it, and then we'll take it off.
It was like 50 fucking degrees and about 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I was freezing my balls off, okay? So they had this winter coat that must have belonged to fucking, I don't know what actor. But you could have put 3 of me in it. But at least it kept me warm, man. I didn't have any problem walking on the hills, man. It was cool. I had no problem at all. It was a little uncomfortable, but I did it. I did it.
He's in fine shape. Is he? I don't know if he's doing like a macrobiotic thing or what, but something's working. I think his skin is to die for.
I think it's fantastic because he is in drag, and what really makes it is the goatee. I think also his legs look really hot. But you know what? I just want to say for the record, his feet are very well pedicured. I agree. They're good. Nice feet.
I've been told I have great legs before by women. Well, I don't know about my feet, but I guess if they say my feet look good, they're chicks, so I got to take their word for it. And I would do either one of them anytime, so it's fine with me.
Today, I'd say Ronnie looks like Connie Stevens. What with the wig? Yeah.
I think Connie Stevens is adorable. I used to jerk off to her sometimes. I didn't want to fuck her. So, yeah, man, if I look like her, hey, that's awesome.
If you're going into a turn up, though, what do you
I was in this whole conversation with Krista about not about my pace car only. She's totally into cars. She's into, we're talking about going to a racetrack together. You should actually go to a school. And they do have the school there.
Yeah, they're ready. I should go to a driving school.
Yeah, I did the NASCAR school. We were sitting next to each other, and they put this red lipstick on me. It kind of shut me up real quick. Last looks. The instructors, what's it called?
You can just sit right
Yeah, they give you.
But, you know, we have to break because he's getting a little tiny bit more.
Alrighty.
You're doing like an hour class first, and then they put you out on the track.
When you start stepping in, start talking. You don't have to wait till you get there.
Okay.
Because I'll probably, when I turn around, I'll have you walk. When you're walking up, I'll have you say it.
Okay.
Okay.
When I did the scene with the little dog, man, it was a Chihuahua. The dog was very nervous. I was afraid the dog might pee on me, but the girl whose dog it was insisted that the dog was fine. I have one stupid line. What is it? Hey, can a girl get $1 for lipstick?
You have another line, too.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right, here we go. Let's go roll, please. Roll.
Ronnie, after a rough night out at some club, walks into the scene with our group in drag.
I'm walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and Courtney Cox, Josh, the whole crew pretty much, they were on like a vacation thing. And I'm walking down the street, and I stopped to ask them for $1 to get a lipstick.
The only mark.
Hey, can a girl get a lipstick?
Yeah, say it. Come back in again. What's the line?
I was nervous, okay? I fucked up on the first one. And then I was fine after that. Kind of. Hey, can a girl get $1 for a lipstick? Thank you, sweetie.
Maybe we should just go see the labia torpits. What? Always say it like that.
Hey, can a girl get $1 for a lipstick?
I don't think $1's gonna do it.
Here's a 20.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
I have that dress. This place makes me sad.
Originally, when I found out about this drag queen thing, I thought that was the only thing I was going to be doing. I was a little disappointed. Next thing I know, they were putting me on the bus, tour bus, actually. I got to do that with the whole cast, and it was really cool doing it with everybody, and they were a lot of fun. And I even got to do a Baba Booey shout-out.
Welcome to Hollywood Star Tours.
You're an idiot.
Hola, amigo. ¿Qué pasa?
Please, don't even pretend you see me as a Latino man. Let's face it, Bobby, you've never once prejudged me based on my ethnicity.
My bad. I'll try harder. Our tour of the Stars homes will begin in a second, but right now our bus is blocked by that nice meth head hassling German tourists for money. Leave him alone, Carol! 9!
This whole bus is a freak show. Are you the lady from...
No, that's my sister.
Baba Booey.
So we just added some material for Ronnie. He's doing so well today that we gave him another couple lines.
The scene on the tour bus in the residential neighborhood was basically we were on tour, and they were showing celebrities' houses. And supposedly this was an O.J. Simpson house.
So, Ronnie, did you read 11? Did you happen to read it?
No.
Okay, we'll run it real quick because I need reactions from you.
Where am I sitting?
Right there in your spot.
My spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the whole everybody.
So I'll be the guide and I'll talk you through the reactions I need from you, Ronnie. Okay. So it goes, the guide says, okay, to your left is where O.J. Simpson may have killed his wife. And all the white people, including you, Ronnie, you should say, oh, come on, he did it. So you can say that.
Okay.
And everyone else is, doing silently doing head nods. Okay. So I'll start again. And then after Randall says his line, you need to say.
Man was tried by a jury of his peers.
He's right. Good point. That's you again, Ronnie. Okay. Okay. He's right. Good point.
He's right, good point?
Yeah. Agreeing with him.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
The only more?
All right. And to your left, folks, is where O.J. Simpson may have killed his wife.
Good point. Oh. Wrong line.
Yeah. Oh, come on, he did it. Ready?
Oh,
okay.
come on. Oh, come on, he did it. He did it.
Tried by a jury of his peers.
Good point, good point.
All right, good.
And if you look to your left, you'll see the house where O.J. Simpson may have killed his wife.
Oh, come on, he did it. He did it.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
The man was tried by a jury of his peers.
Good point. Good point. My performance? I would say A, not A plus, maybe a B plus, B plus to A. They thought I was good, but you know what? They might have said that just for the hell of it. Who knows? I could have been the fucking shit. Who knows?
Wow. Never in my wildest dreams did I think Ronnie Mund, Ronnie the limo driver from the Howard Stern Show, would be so excellent. I'm here to tell you, this guy's got a career.
He was great and he was a good sport. I gotta say, all good.
I gotta be honest, he did fantastic. It was the funniest thing about the entire day. Especially with the Wyatt Earp mustache and those sunglasses, I had no idea what kind of character he was playing, but he was funny.
Well, he played a drag queen and a man today, so he's versatile, and he's fun to watch. So yeah, I have to endorse him, unfortunately.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would you rate him?
Solid 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap on Ronnie Mund. Give him a big hand.
Hey, Ronnie, you got anything to say? Thank you. Ronnie, you got anything to say to the cast and crew?
Thank you for everybody for having me here. It was great. Now I can take a ride out and go home.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It was
Pleasure.
fun. It was fun.
Come do it again.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's get in the van and get out of here. I would definitely go back and do it again. I would be the drag queen. I would take it in the ass if I had to. You know what I'm saying? Guys, keep that in mind. I would take it in the ass for you, as long as the pay was right.
Ronnie is not an actor. Ronnie can't act, but Ronnie is a personality, and it's fun to see him pop up in a show. And that's what I think Cougar Town is taking advantage of, and it's wise. Our audience will tune in to see Ronnie on Cougar Town. I mean, there's no secrets here. Ronnie can't act.
Hey, can a girl get a lipstick?
He's awful. He's awful in every way. And, you know, if they can turn that into something, Cougar Town's the fucking hardest working show in the world.
Ronnie fully embraces it. He's like, we're here to have fun. Unlike some shorter wheelchair-ridden actors, Ronnie's like, I'm putting on the dress, and I'm going to go with it. And I think that's funny.
Oh, come on. He did it. He did it.
It was awful. What am I going to say? He's terrible. He's a driver. That's what he should stick to, driving, not acting.
Good point. Good point.
Ronnie's acting was absolutely abysmal, but that's what you want when you get Ronnie there.
We said the nicest things about him.
Oh, I'll bet.
He has done an amazing job at capitalizing on the limited skills that he has.
Be my dog.
You know, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, who is anyone to say whether someone can act or not? People said for years you won't be able to act, and I made a movie. And I could act. Maybe Ronnie is a great actor. Who knows?
Thank you, sweetie.